With 2017, we're already starting the year of greatness, on fire.
What the fuck is with this guy? Who is he?
Otherwise, we'll miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go.
And yes, just like the Joker said, we are waiting for those fireworks, but just like Batman said, there is no fireworks. Look, I said I was going to be fair, and I'm definitely going to be fair. So let's start with the positives. God of War looked absolutely fantastic. I'm still on the fence of God of War because of this whole story-driven thing. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But other than that, the game looks absolutely fire. I'm still getting it. It's God of War. It's one of my favorite franchises. So I'm definitely going to cop the God of War. It looks beautiful, like I said. Another positive, bright positive, is that they're adding DLC to these first single-player experiences, which, Uncharted got this Lost Legacy, and then you have the Frozen Wilds. That's with Horizon Zero Dawn. Absolutely great. Great. I got both games. It just brings longevity to those type of games. It was one of the things I was bitching about. Like, they should make DLC for Quantum Break because that would give people back into the game and actually give the game a try if people have not bought the game, of course. So, but with these, you give longevity to games like this, and I think that's a real good positive. So, kudos to PlayStation for that. Monster Hunter, as you just seen a little clip, it's coming to the Xbox, but still, it was cool to be seen on the show. Another great highlight was Days Gone. That was the first game I believe that they showed in its entirety while they were just showing the scripted play. But Sony knows how to make how to make shit entertaining because they had people hanging from the stage, and then they also had while the dude was going through the crowd of people that was hung, and then one dude woke up and all this stuff. Very entertaining. Like, you got involved into the game. Like, oh, this shit looks crazy. And then like the zombies, and they were everywhere. Like, oh shit, all right, cool. That it looked good. Not a day one buy for me, but it's definitely something that's on my radar. It's a cool looking game. And then the biggest highlight of the night was definitely Spider-Man. Spider-Man was not on my radar whatsoever. I'm like, I'm not caring about this. I know Insomniac makes good games, but my God, like dude said at the end, enjoy the thrill ride. It was one hell of a ride. It was fantastic. It was the best game of the show, of the PlayStation show, I should say. But it's definitely, Spider-Man was one of the best looking trailers of E3. It was one of the best. In my opinion, you have Metro, you have Anthem, you have, even though it was all trailer, Beyond Good and Evil 2 looked fucking dope. Then you had Wolfenstein, and then you also had Ori and the Blind Forest that looks absolutely beautiful. And then, of course, like I said, Spider-Man is in that bunch as well. So it definitely was awesome to look at. So those was my positives. I know they show VR, and I know Crap Gamer and like D-Batch and other people, they swear to VR as being fantastic, and I'm not going to knock VR. It's just not my thing. It was positive that they showed Skyrim, but I just that's one of those experiences that just seemed like that's too long, Jack, to be having some big ass heavy peripheral on your head. Like I said, if they start showing a game to me like on the level of House of the Dead, then I'm all with it, because it seems like that would be really stupid fun. It'd be a little creepy at times too, because something would pop right up in your face. And then, you can get little handguns and shit like that. That would be really, really fun. So I'm still on the fence of VR, but you know what? Hey, that's part of their show. Now, those were the positives. Let's get to the negatives. And I hope people can agree with me on this, because like I said, I'm going to be fair. All that money that was spent on these marketing deals, where the hell was those games? There was no FIFA, there was no NBA 2K, there was no, damn, I mean, there was just so many of them. There was no Red Dead, there was no Battlefront 2, there was so many things out there, and they did not show any of those games. None. You just got FIFA, and you didn't show but just a clip Or at the EA conference, you only had the little PlayStation thing at the very end. That was whack. I was told by an insider that was there in the room that motherfuckers punched the TV. That people that was representatives of one of these companies that got the marketing deal punched the fucking TV. Was so angry. Now look, this is how I look at this conference overall. No doubt about it. Okay, it's just like your kid going to school and they have a project. They have like a book report. They got to have the book report, and the book report has to be done within the week. The book report is ready to go. You got the book, you got everything, and then when you get to the goddamn day where you're supposed to do the test, the only thing you write down is the title because you didn't read the fucking book. This was an absolute fail on all fronts. All fronts. You do not have a less than an hour show. You do not show your big heavy hitters. I mean, how in the hell are you going to show Detroit? Like, okay, there was another game. I forgot about Detroit. Detroit looks great. Those are one of those type of games that I can play, but it doesn't look as good as it did last year. So instead of showing this long ass clip of Detroit, you could have thrown in some of those multi-plat games that you paid the rights for. Show the gamers what you paid your money for. Look, this conference was absolutely arrogant. This wasn't ignorance, this was arrogance. We're going to go ahead and show you what we have, and you're going to like it. This was kind of like Sony being a kid going to school and they had a book report due. So they go and they come to take the test, and they know exactly what they have to do. They got to read the book in order to get the good score. But of course, what they do, they just write the title and that's it. That's exactly what the hell they just did. They came in, just showed some shit, and we're out, we're done. We're not going to spend a lot of money and time on this bullshit. They were so arrogant. And look, you're going to show and tease people with The Last of Us 2. You can give people a nugget. It's not like they're trying to take the philosophy of what Phil is doing. It's like, we're going to show games that's going to come out this particular year. They did all these good games that they showed are not coming out. Look at this Spider-Man dope. I'm like, okay, 2017, this shit's going to come out. That's going to be a win for them. Nothing. Don't even got an actual date. And you know PlayStation is really good of giving you a date, but then pushing shit back if shit is not where it needs to be. So we're going through this same cycle again. We're going to have a moment of where it's going to be sparse because you know eventually that the PlayStation 5 is going to have to be announced. And we're also going to get these games delayed so they can push it out and have it to where it's an abundance of games all at once in the beginning of the year. Because they don't seem to want to go after the people that they at the end of the year because of the marketing deals, the marketing rights that they have. The arrogance of Sony didn't drop a price on anything. Now, eventually they could probably do it at the end of the year, but to not get people excited and say, oh, look, I want to get a Pro at this point in time, arrogance. PS, VR, nah, we ain't dropping shit, son. You gonna like this trash. Wow, what arrogance. Also, how is it that your competitor shows more Japanese games than you do? How? How is it that Xbox showed more Japanese titles than you do? And you're a Japanese company. Man, Xbox kept it moving. 43 games, 22 exclusives, and then you had only 16 games on PlayStation's floor. 6 to 8 of those was PlayStation VR. Disgusting. Disgusting. The magnitude of the damage control is absolutely top of the line. I've never seen, look, let's keep it real. Like, look, if this was an Xbox show and I had to do an after show on BGST or anywhere else, I'm being quiet like a motherfucker because it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. I'm not saying too much of anything. K-Mega's being quiet because that would have been a fail. So, look, you can say what you want to. I told you guys I was going to be fair and I was going to be real. I gave you the good and I gave you the bad. There was even more bad things. I mean, but PlayStation pissed off a lot of people. The marketing rights that they have, those people was expecting to get shown at the mecca of gaming, and they fucking failed. So I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Get back on track if you want me back. Don't you